welcome to True Hunt. Today we have got Director of NGO Vanashakti, Mr. Stalin with us, who has also been a petitioner in the National Green Tribunal. And apart from that, he has also been a member of Bombay High Court appointed Wetland Grievance Redressal Committee. So he has joined us to discuss Forest Conservation Amendment Bill. If passed, what can be the repercussions and what exactly the amendment is? Sir, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया and welcome to the True Hunt. Sir, as you are an environmentalist yourself and here and there you're filing petitions to save and protect our environment. Sir, my first question is, please brief us about the Forest Conservation Amendment.
First thing, the Forest Conservation Act 1980, it is an act which was brought in by the parliament through an ordinance, and it is aimed at protecting the forests. What is a forest? That is a big challenge and question even today. The Supreme Court has held that any area which has certain vegetation on it and resembles a wooded area with trees or a landscape with trees will be called a forest. The technical thing is that for the Forest Conservation Act to be used, that area must be notified as a forest according to the government. They are saying that unless you say that it is a forest in the on document, it will not be treated as a forest. But the Supreme Court order says that अगर वो जंगल दिख रहा है, तो it will be called as a forest. So that was very simple and explanation taken by the the Supreme Court. It told all the states of the country to come back with a definition of what is a forest according to you. Because when you say forest, you always think of trees. It's not necessary that it has trees. There are shrub forests, there are grasslands, marshland. These lands also can be called as forests. See, in the Forest Conservation Act, every proposal where you have to use a forest for non-forestry purposes, you are diverting a forest, you are cutting a forest, the central government's permission was compulsory. Yeah, the new government wants to do away with all kinds of protection which is available for the forest today. Most importantly, what they are trying to do is they are saying that if it is a government project, then there is no need for any permission. You straight away start your work. Now that cannot be the approach.
Sir, my question is, of course, recently, why was this in news that they have taken an example of Aravallis and especially Gurgaon and Faridabad in Haryana. They are saying that if this amendment is passed related to forest conservation, then it will be opened to all kind of non-forest activities in those areas. So the question arises, of course, when the non-forest activities arises, the human interference in those forest areas is more and it disturbs everything. On the other hand, with seeing our India's population, which is second largest in the world, the resources are also needed in order to, accumulate everybody into the system, whether it is from generating infrastructure and everything, which the government is also talking about. So how these things can be balanced, seeing the fact that, the development is also necessary. Of course, cutting the forest or relocating the forest is harmful for our environment. Sir, please, your comments on this.
We have a great population. Along with a great population, we have a great land mass. Much of India's land mass is still not populated. What we are trying to do is to destroy the forest areas and connect cities to each other, which is a problem. Now we are saying that resources which are needed. What is happening about mining? You are taking out coal, now you want to export coal. You are taking out iron ore, you want to export iron ore to China. This is not the needs of the Indians. Whatever you need from nature, Indian landscape has provided for the Indians. It is enough for us. We don't have to go and destroy it for money. That is where the challenge starts. You might make money little bit now, but why is India so important? Because it has more than 400 rivers, and that rivers are all dependent on forests. Now without water, we will be nothing. Our relation between forests and water has to be understood by each and every person, and first of all by the government. So alongside the commercial needs, your monetary needs, you need to understand the survival needs, and these forests are needed for survival, not for money making.
Of course, as you know that G20 summit is going all over and India is heading the presidency this year, and seeing that India's vision in that, which talks about one earth, one family, one future, which is related to preserving the environment. So what do you think that where it is lacking? Is there any will in between which is lagging, or is there any sort of explanation about the things is in a two-way system? What is your say on this, sir?
The slogan is correct. It's perfect. And that is the approach that is needed for the earth. That one earth, one family, we have to talk as one. But the intention is not correct as far as the G20 goes.
Sir, but the thing is that these type of events only bring the world together, as it is said, on one single platform, so that the issues of the world can be addressed, especially in terms of environment, which the global warming and the global environment change is taking place all over. So what do you think better can be done from your perspective?
Indian government is not willing to cut down on emission standard. We are saying that we will also destroy like the Western world, and then we will start correcting ourselves. So that approach is wrong.
As we are talking about environment, of course, India is focusing on making hydrogen fuel, which is eco-friendly, and bringing electric cars, and with the sustainable energy sources, as E20 was also, inaugurated in Bengaluru. So, sir, these kind of initiatives, what from your perspective, are leading us to a pathway which would give a eco-friendly system to us?
I would say yes, but electric cars certainly not, because the power you are using to charge your electric car is again coal fired. So you're using thermal power to charge your batteries. Again, more coal will be consumed. So it is not an eco-friendly way. And what is the cost of the batteries? It is not even economical sense to have an electric car.
I'll again go back to the SC judgment of 1996, which provides a protective shield to a large tract of deemed forest. It says, according to one of the statements. So, sir, what is your say that how can these things lagging now in the current amendment, which is said to be passed in the near future about the conservation of forests, sir?
See, what the Supreme Court said was deemed forest means whatever looks like a forest. It says no matter who is the owner, whether it is notified or not, no problem. If it looks like a forest, it is a forest, protected. Now, what their government is trying to say is to remove the definition of deemed forest. They are saying only the forests which are recorded as forests should be protected. Now, that is dangerous. So, deemed forest means just because you are the owner of a forest or a forest which is on government land, so it doesn't give you a license to destroy it. The classic case is the aareyforest. Aarey is a forest with 5 lakh trees, but even today, only part of it got declared as a forest after people fought for almost 8 years. That is a mistake from the government side. Now, if a government is making a mistake for, say, 30, 40 years, and then it wants to capitalize on its mistake, that is wrong.
You are an environmentalist, doing lots and lots of things and filing petitions time to time to protect environment on various stages. Sir, what can be done? Of course, it is said that the development is also needed. Put a step forward and match up the global standards. So, sir, what can be done so that in order there should be a balanced development protecting our environment?
Development is needed, yes. I am also all for development, but you can always develop without destroying. The problem is you're not ready to spend the money. The unwillingness to spend money is the cause of the problem.
Sir, my last question to you, of course, there are many changes happening, and throughout India, we are seeing lots and lots of things, especially in the G20, which has to happen because we have been given that presidency. And this year, India was lucky to get that. Sir, what is future of India in terms of environment protection, looking from 2023 to the coming next 5 years?
And like I told you, we are a unique country with all the ecosystems. We can show the world how to protect ecosystem. We have this chance to showcase our skills. I would plead with the Prime Minister and our senior officials who are attending the summit here, that they should come out with a proper model which is convincing and which can be executed on the ground.
Sir, what I have understood with these meetings, that of course it is a global effort. G20 means a global effort. All throughout the world, discussion on one single platform, making the things happen, addressing the challenges on a global platform. So, sir, how the global collaboration in terms of global warming, which is an issue for the world, how in terms of global warming, just taking an example, can be addressed so that bringing everyone on a single platform, and the things should be implemented, not just be on the papers.
Global warming will create more climate refugees in India because we have a very big coastline. When the sea level rises, people will have to move to safer places. So we are facing a huge challenge and we need to be prepared.
We have seen on various advertisements, especially on the news, when it is related to environment, straight away when the news is there, a highlight point comes from the WHO and other big giant organization saying that the global warming is a process of years. It is not a process which has taken place in like 1 year time or 2 year time. Here the thing is that we need to implement the thing because it is an alarming situation. So what is your say on that particular thing which is highlight generally?
See, our rate of consumption, our rate of the growth, present development model driven growth is so fast that even the scientists have got it wrong. What was predicted to happen in 2050 has started coming closer. Now they are saying it will happen in 2030 itself. We are already into the danger zone. We need to stop and think and somehow slow down. If you go on at this rate, you may have more money, but you won't have water and you won't have livable a country which you can live in with nature.